On a Pennsylvania road, for the longest time, there have been stories. Young men will go missing and no one knows what happens to them. Well, the story goes that one night a man named Danny, who was just 19, drove on this particular road. It was like 1 or 2 in the morning. He was getting off from work and he was just going home when a young woman stopped him and she told him she needed a ride. Not thinking nothing of it, even though it was really late, she told him that she needed to be dropped off close to where he was going. So he did. But as soon as she got in the back seat, he noticed she was awfully quiet. She wouldn't talk, and he also noticed that for a pretty warm night, it got really cold all of a sudden. So he's trying to talk to her, and nothing. So when he looks in his mirror, at first her head is down. But then she looks up at him and her face has changed. He's freaked out by what he sees because he said her face was disfigured. And so he had a car accident, but he survived. And after this, he always wondered if that is why these young men were going missing, was because of her. Well, a man named Ronald, he had just got done with dinner and he was taking his girlfriend home. And normally he wouldn't drive on this road, but this particular night he did. And it was 11 o'clock. And he had heard the stories of the guys going missing, but he didn't believe in ghost stories. So, not thinking nothing of it, he took this road. Well, he's got the radio turned up, and all of a sudden, he sees a young woman that stops him. Now, again, he's not thinking nothing of it because he doesn't believe the stories. So she stops him, tells him where she's going, and he tells her, "Hey, I'll take you home." She gets in the back seat, and just like with Danny, she's not talking. He notices it's colder than what it should be. And then when he looks back, her head's down as she raises up, and the same thing. But this time, unlike with Danny, she grabs him. And he's able to stop the car, but she grabs him and she pulls him into the back seat and is basically attacking him. Well, he pushes her off And then when he gets back up, she's gone. He doesn't know what just happened. He goes home. He notices the scratch marks, so he knows it really happened because he had scratch marks. Being freaked out, he didn't tell anybody because he thought no one's going to believe what I seen or what happened. So, a couple years go by. And at this point, Danny has still been trying to figure out that night what happened to him. And Ronald still hasn't told anybody about his experience until he ends up meeting Danny. And Danny tells him his experience, and Ronald would tell Danny his. And they both came up with a plan. We're like, what if we're on this road together and we see what would happen? Would she still come if it was two men and not one? So they come up with the plan of the time they're going to do it. And it turns 12 that night. They get everything they need because Danny wants to try to see if he can get it on video, on camera. So they both drive to that road. Ronald is terrified because he doesn't want to go through what he went through that night. And he's really actually hoping that she doesn't end up showing. Well, sure enough, they go on the road. She puts out her thumb. They stop. And they let her in. But this time, when the car stops, she doesn't tell them where she's going. She just has a smile on her face. And she gets in. Well, she gets in the back seat. She's quiet. Like they had said the first time they seen her. But then Danny starts talking. He asks her who she is. Well, she tells him. She tells him that years ago, she was attacked by a man, and it happened to be on that road. So now, she takes vengeance on any man that comes down that road at dark. So Ronald doesn't say anything. He's freaked out. So Danny's the one doing all the talking. And he's got his recorder going. And so he asked her, did you kill the guy who did that to you? And she looks up at him with a smile on her face. And her face looks disfigured again. And so they're freaked out. And she tells him, not yet. And so Danny asks, what do you mean not yet? And she looks at Ronald. And she goes, it's him. She grabs Ronald. And she slits his throat with her fingernail. And Danny is left in disbelief. He stops the car to try to help Ronald, but Ronald is gone. And the girl just disappeared. And after that night, no more men have gone missing on that road.